Imagine you're driving down a quiet highway at night. The road is empty, the sky is dark, and your AI-controlled car is smoothly guiding you home. Suddenly, out of nowhere, a truck swerves into your lane. There's no time for you to react. In that split second, the only thing standing between life and death is a line of code inside your car's artificial brain. And here's the terrifying question. What if your AI car had to decide who lives and who dies? This isn't science fiction anymore. As AI takes over braking, steering, collision avoidance, and full self-driving, it's beginning to make decisions that humans never had to consciously confront. And if millions of Americans start relying on AI cars, then one day those cars may face impossible choices. Your life, the life of someone outside the vehicle, or the life of the person in the other car. What happens when technology decides your fate? Before we dive deeper, think about this. For decades, human drivers made snap decisions in accidents, often based on instinct and panic. But an AI car doesn't panic, it calculates, it predicts, it chooses, and that's exactly the problem. Because who programs the choice? Who decides what the AI values more? The passengers? The pedestrians? The greatest number of lives saved? Or the person whose data profile indicates they're younger, healthier, or statistically more valuable to society? If this sounds disturbing, it should. Because this is the real ethical dilemma behind the future of autonomous vehicles. Now imagine this scenario. Your AI car is approaching an unavoidable crash. On one side of the road is a group of pedestrians. On the other side is a concrete barrier, a deadly hit for you, the passenger. If the AI swerves left, others die. If it swerves right, you do. But here's the twist. What if the AI is programmed to protect the greatest number of lives? Would it sacrifice you? Or what if it's programmed to prioritize the paying customer, you, even if that means harming others? Different companies might build different moral rules into their AI. Some may protect you at all costs, others may follow a government-approved ethical model, and some might secretly base decisions on risk factors, insurance data, or even your economic value. Here is something even more unsettling. What if the AI car evaluates digital data in real time? Imagine it detects that the pedestrian on the sidewalk is a child, or that the person in the other vehicle is elderly, or that one driver has a better chance of survival than another. Should an algorithm be allowed to weigh human lives based on age, health, or probability of survival? Who gives AI the right to choose? If this feels like the kind of what-if scenario that makes your brain spin, stick with me, because the deeper we go, the stranger and more uncomfortable the possibilities become. And before we continue, make sure you stay for the entire video, because the final part will reveal a scenario where an AI car might choose to sacrifice someone for a reason no human would ever accept. Now imagine a future where every AI car in America is connected to a nationwide decision-making network. Millions of vehicles constantly exchanging data, speed, distance, weather, road conditions, and even human behavior patterns. In a split-second emergency, your car isn't acting alone. It's tapping into a system that evaluates every possible outcome with cold mathematical precision. And here's the terrifying part. This network might already know more about your life than you realize. It knows your age from your driver profile, your health from interconnected medical systems, your insurance status, even your social behavior based on digital footprints. All of that data could feed the algorithm that decides your fate in an accident. Picture a situation where two cars are about to collide. One is carrying a family of 4. The other has a single passenger. You, a human driver, might react instinctively without calculating lives. But the AI network calculates everything instantly. 4 versus 1. Younger versus older. Higher survival probability versus lower. The car you are sitting in might choose to sacrifice you because the math says saving more lives is the optimal outcome. But is human life something that should be reduced to a formula? Let's take it even further. Imagine the AI has access to environmental data as well. On the sidewalk, it detects a single pedestrian, but the sensors identify that the pedestrian is pregnant, which technically means 2 lives instead of 1. Should the AI prioritize them over you? What if the system, is designed to protect the most vulnerable. Children, elderly individuals, people with disabilities. The AI might rank them higher, and that ranking could determine who survives a crash. Some might argue that a fully neutral AI should make decisions based purely on physics, whichever action results in the least impact force overall. But physics doesn't consider moral weight. It doesn't consider innocence. It doesn't consider responsibility. If a drunk driver swerves into your lane, should the AI punish you, the innocent one, simply because it calculates that you are easier to sacrifice than the person who caused the accident? And here's an even darker twist. What if corporations influence these decisions? Imagine a future where companies program their cars to always protect the paying customer first. That might sound good, until two self-driving cars from two different companies face an unavoidable collision. Each car tries to protect its own passengers, both refusing to take the sacrificial route. The result could be a deadlier crash simply because the AI prioritized brand loyalty over human life. Now imagine multiple brands competing on safety standards, each promising customers that their car will choose them over anyone else. It becomes a digital version of survival of the fittest, not between humans, but between algorithms. And while you're thinking about this, here's a small request. If this scenario is making you rethink the future of transportation, then stay with me. The biggest ethical dilemma is still coming, and it involves a situation where the AI might choose to sacrifice, not based on numbers or health or age, but based on something far more personal. Now let's step into a scenario that feels even more personal. Imagine you're sitting in your AI-driven car on your way to work. The morning is calm, traffic is light, and everything feels normal. But hidden behind that smooth ride is a massive amount of personal data. Your driving history, shopping habits, medical records, financial risk level, and even your psychological profile. In the future, all of this could shape how your AI car behaves during a life-or-death moment. Think about this situation. Two cars are about to collide on a freeway. There's no way to avoid impact entirely. The AI must decide which vehicle takes the greater force. But instead of counting passengers or calculating physics alone, the system uses personal data to make its choice. It knows that you have a higher risk tolerance based on past behavior. It knows you once opted out of certain insurance coverages. It knows you posted online that you trust AI safety more than humans. And in that split second, the AI interprets your profile as someone who is more accepting of risk. So it assigns more danger to your vehicle. It's not about morality, it's about interpretation. But the consequences are real. Your life could be valued differently, not because you're less important, but because your data creates a version of you that the AI uses as justification. Imagine an accident where the AI decides you're the one who can handle the impact, while the other driver, someone with a medical condition or flagged vulnerabilities, is protected. This leads to a terrifying question. What if the AI starts using predictive data to make ethical decisions? For example, what if your car knows you have a long history of safe driving, stable income, and good health? It might calculate that you have a higher chance of recovering from injuries. Meanwhile, the passenger in the other car has a lower survival probability. Should that influence the AI? Should future potential matter? Should your entire digital life be used as a factor in a physical accident? Let's go even deeper. Imagine the AI detects that you've been stressed lately. Your sleep hours have dropped, and your heart rate, tracked through a connected device, is elevated. The system could decide that you're not in a condition to survive severe trauma, not because of anything you did wrong, but because you're having a rough month. The AI could prioritize the life of someone who appears more stable physically or emotionally at that moment. These scenarios reveal an uncomfortable truth. When AI becomes responsible for human lives, tiny details begin to matter in ways we never intended. A line of code, a data point, a behavioral pattern, any of these can shift the outcome. And no matter how advanced the AI is, one fact remains. It is making a judgment about who lives and who dies without ever truly understanding humanity. Now we arrive at the part that will truly challenge your perception of AI and morality. Imagine an AI car facing an unavoidable crash, but this time it's not choosing based on numbers, survival probability, or the number of lives. Instead, It analyzes subtle behavioral cues, biometric data, and even emotional states. Your car might detect that you're frustrated, angry, or distracted. It might read tension in the passenger next to you, or recognize hesitation in the driver in the other lane. Based on this emotional analysis, the AI could make its decision, choosing who lives or dies in a way no human could predict or morally justify. It's a scenario that feels like pure science fiction, yet the technology exists in basic forms today. Emotion recognition, biometric tracking, predictive analytics, all tools already being used in AI research. Combine them with self-driving cars, and suddenly life and death decisions are influenced by algorithms evaluating your mental state in real time. Imagine surviving a crash only to realize that your car SAI decided your fate not based on fairness, but on an interpretation of your mood, stress, or even the way you were breathing. It's unnerving, but it's a glimpse of the ethical minefield autonomous vehicles could create. And here's another chilling possibility. What if AI cars communicate with each other during emergencies? Your car could consult nearby vehicles, weighing collective data to choose the outcome that benefits the network rather than individual passengers. In other words, the system might sacrifice you not because of what you did, but because it maximizes overall safety in the network. Your life could become secondary to an invisible calculation of efficiency, a version of morality stripped down to cold logic. Now think about how this changes society. Will people trust AI if cars can make life or death choices? Will insurance companies begin rating individuals not only by driving history, but by algorithmically determined AI survivability? Could laws force manufacturers to reveal their AI decision-making logic, or keep it secret to protect proprietary algorithms? The implications reach far beyond the road. We are talking about the moral authority of machines, the value of human intuition, and the invisible hand of algorithms deciding fate. If you have ever imagined a what-if scenario where technology becomes more than a tool, this is it. The reality is that AI could soon occupy the same moral space humans have wrestled with for centuries, deciding who survives, who doesn't, and under what circumstances. And the most unsettling part, we may not fully understand or agree with the criteria behind these choices. Our lives might hinge on code we never see, decisions we never influence, and ethical frameworks designed by someone else entirely. So here's the question I leave you with. When AI cars become the ultimate arbiters of life and death, will we feel safe trusting them? Or will the very machines designed to protect us become the ones determining our fate? Think about it the next time you step into a self-driving car. And if this video made you pause and reflect, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the notification bell. Because the future is arriving faster than we think, and understanding it is more important than ever.